Whew. I have so much to say about The Last Black Man in San Francisco. But if there's one thing that I can say, this is one of the best films of 2019, and there's no debate. What's happening, guys? James here from Reflect the Screen, and today we're going to talk all about A24's latest film, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Now, before I get started, if this is your first time here at Reflect the Screen, welcome. I review movies and TV shows weekly, so if you like what you see, hit the sub button below and share this with your friends. Hit the like button and let me know in the comments, have y'all been to San Fran? Is this movie even like San Francisco? Because your boy hasn't been. All right, guys, so let's hop right into The Last Black Man in San Francisco. This is a story that's adapted from Jimmie Fails' actual life as a young adult. He's really trying to just tether on to a certain link to his past, which is found in his grandfather's home. Now, he's alongside his best friend the entire film, Montgomery Allen. He's played by Jonathan Majors. This guy's fantastic, but we'll dive into that in a little bit. It's a really cool slice of life out of both Jimmie and Montgomery Allen's lives together. Now, if you're wondering, I absolutely love this film. This movie is exactly what I felt like I've been looking for in the emotional department for the last year. I mean, 2019's been full of really fun films, but I've never seen a grounded film this year like I have with The Last Black Man in San Francisco. In the acting department, Jimmie Fails, this is his feature-length debut. I would have never guessed that. The guy is a natural. He's so good at his very raw, emotional approach. The dude is just bleeding emotion off the screen, y'all. Now, Jonathan Majors, he plays Montgomery Allen, which is Jimmie's best friend. Let me tell y'all, they are great together. But even separately, Jonathan Majors, he ought to be up for an Oscar. It is the first thing I told my girlfriend after this film. I said, listen, if he doesn't get nominated, I'm going to write off the Academy forever. Well, it's not that yeah, I might. Now, this movie had me thinking a ton about my friendships growing up. I mean, have y'all had that best friend growing up? I mean, there should be a poll coming up right at the top of the screen. I don't know which way it is. And another top-billed actor on this cast list was Danny Glover. He plays the grandfather to Montgomery. He's blind in this film, but the way he just sells the role is just really, really perfect. There's a lot of subtleties and a lot of nuances that go into his performance. Honestly, Danny Glover hasn't done anything that I've absolutely hated him in. And for any of the Martin fans out there, Tichina Arnold is fantastic in this role too. She plays the aunt to Jimmie Fails. Like, she is like the aunt. I'm like, auntie, let's go. Like, you know, it felt good to see her on screen in this role. She's just very natural with it, man. Like, this entire film has this like really raw feel to it. So this story is very layered. I mean, listen, it's layered, but it flows well. This is a 2-hour movie that feels like an hour and a half. I actually might have wanted a little bit more at the end. It was so much fun, but that's a huge credit to director Joe Talbot and Rob Richard, who's also making his feature-length debut. Y'all catching the kind of the pattern here? Feature-length debuts for almost everybody in this movie. And let me tell you, there are two things that I'm very, very much a sucker for in films, and that's cinematography and the score. Both get A+ in this movie. The cinematography is among the best I've seen, if not the most beautiful piece of imagery in a single film that I've seen this year. I've never been to San Francisco, but San Francisco was well represented here. If you guys have been to San Fran, please let me know in the comments, because I want to visit San Fran because of this movie, but then there are also parts where I might want to avoid only because they didn't really represent it well on purpose, because, you know, San Fran, unfortunately, overpopulated, cost of living. This is not an economics class, I promise. Emile Mosseri's score was fantastic. Like I just told you, I'm a sucker for music, and I think each and every note just complemented all of the emotion on screen. And this movie's final act is great. It's just fantastic. There's a line in there that makes me think, I am Tony Stark, move over. I love you 3000, skirt all the way to the right or left, whichever way I'm pointing right now. Jimmie is talking to these two girls who say they hate San Fran, and he says, y'all can't hate San Francisco. You can only hate what you love. And I'm like, all right, Jimmie, just go ahead and preach that real quick, because that was, woo. So as you can guess, The Last Black Man in San Francisco is a must watch. I know Toy Story 4 is taking over the box office this weekend, but before the end of 2019, you need to see this film. I mean, it is fantastic. Each and every note is near perfect, and it's definitely a top 5er for me this year. Alrighty guys, so that about wraps it up for my take on The Last Black Man in San Francisco. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Like this video, share it with your friends, of course. And again, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. You can catch Reflect the Screen every week here on YouTube and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks so much again for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.